Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. This is going to be awesome. So, earlier this year, Shanling came out with a fantastic portable CD player that had vacuum tubes and an in-house R2R DAC. And it's been blowing up the internet. It's fantastic. However, its price point at over $500 had some people wincing a little bit. So, amazingly, very quickly, they were able to go back to the drawing board and roll out a budget model that has a off-the-shelf DAC. It's a AKM chip, very well-respected chip, and it does not use vacuum tubes. And we're going to take a look at that today. You're not going to want to miss this. You guys know I love CD players, so when I saw this come out, specifically the tube one with the R2R DAC, I was like, oh man, I would love to get my hands on that. And Shanling's like, about that. Shanling was like, how about this new budget version? I'm like, well, that's even better because it really underscores this channel's mission to provide entry-level equipment and cheaper alternatives. So if you saw that one and you were like, dang, I would love to have that, but it's so expensive, then this might be more on budget for you. So let's go ahead and get this thing out. See what's inside here. As you could see, the packaging is just on point. So this is the accessories box. Let's take a look inside here. We've got our quick start guide. We've got our warranty. This all looks very well produced. Is this like a catalog? Nice. This is really cool. They have some really, really cool stuff. Even these little MP3 players, bigger MP3 players. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to look at anything Shanling, but I like what I see. It looks like they might even have some speakers. Very, very cool. Oh, it's like a timeline since 1988. So 1988 would have been really the end of the first era of compact disc players. So we got a USB-C. And what I mean by that is the first round of CD players had 16-bit DACs. They were just a different animal compared to what happened with compact disc players in the 90s. So it's interesting that their heritage extends back to that. All right, we got a bag here. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. First of all, this thing is heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. And that's because this is a solid unibody construction metal alloy. And that is actually, oops, I accidentally pushed the button. That is actually a tempered glass lid. You can hear it. That is not plastic. This is all very, very robust. I'm going to shut it back off. I accidentally did not mean to turn it on yet. But wow, just look at this thing. On the front panel here, we've got a volume slider. Very nice control there. It's got a very good feel to it. Headphone jacks, we've got a 3.5 millimeter unbalanced and then a 4.4 millimeter balanced. If we rotate along here, you can see the power switch. So it's interesting. It must have been in an on state, or oh, you know what? When I picked it up out of the box, I better push that. And then you can tell that you got a leverage point there for the lid. Flipping it around to the back side here, we got a few interesting things. We got two line outputs. It looks like a balanced and an unbalanced line out. A SPDIF output. This is Bluetooth. I don't know how that is, if that's like an antenna port or something. USB DAC. So you can use this as a standalone DAC if you want to access that AKM chip as a DAC. It's also got a USB and DC input for power. And then P mode, battery and external DC. Switching to this side, we've got a lock switch. And then on the bottom, this is a very smooth, I'm assuming that's also tempered glass with these rubber corners here. And look at this. Look at that. Hello, old friend. The compact disc logo. I have not seen that in years on anything. Because, you know, it's a licensed entity. That's really, really interesting that they are using it. Okay, so this thing is huge. I mean, it's not like too huge, but it's noticeably bigger. Let me put this side by side with a Sony D121 circa 1992-93. It's a hefty device, and it's amazing that this relative newcomer, and I say relative because 88 is still a long time, but you know, Sony's been around for so long. This thing feels so much higher quality and so much more robust than this by comparison. Now, this was an entry-level Discman, but still, this thing just reeks with quality. I mean, it's amazing. So we lift this up. One of the first things that sticks out to me is I like the fact that the lid goes all the way up 90 degrees. I think that's cool. But you'll notice there isn't a snap-on spindle. You know what I mean? You don't snap the CD onto a spindle. This is a recessed turntable with an actual clamp. Isn't that amazing? It's actually got a clamp. You don't see that very often. That is just truly amazing. We got another compact disc logo under the lid. You can see the actual laser assembly right there. I believe those are made by Sanyo. Not 100% sure. If I close the lid here, you can see the branding. Ooh, I can feel it coming. It's trying to focus on a disc. It thinks there's a disc in there. We have our controls over here and our screen right there. So what I'm going to need to do is spend some time with this. I'm filming this a few days in advance, and I'm going to dedicate some time to listening to this, experiencing it, learning how to use it, and I'll be right back with you and let you know how it goes. Boy, so much has happened since the last clip in this one. All right, it's been a couple of weeks. I've had time to really enjoy this CD player and spend time exploring its features, thinking about, you know, how it would work in different use cases, if it's a good quality product or not. Is it gimmicky? Does it have good sound quality? Does it have good performance? All of those good things. And I'm excited to kind of share my thoughts with you. And again, not just for size purposes, but for build quality and other purposes. I want to show this Sony D121 again. This is early 90s, like 1993, 1992. Sony entry-level player. This thing feels like a plastic child's toy compared to this. This feels like equipment, and this does not. And that's saying something because these were good. And it's just kind of bizarre that now we have CD players that are, you know, so much more higher quality in terms of their construction, and hopefully their performance and longevity lasts as well. This is all metal and glass. It feels heavy. It feels expensive. You could tell me this is $1,000 CD player. I believe it. I wouldn't believe it's anything less than what it is, which is a $300-something CD player. I don't recall off the top of my head. Whereas this, you know, I would say, yeah, it feels like it's worth about $15 now, especially. So, yeah, we've talked about a lot of the visual stuff and the physical form factor stuff already. So let me talk about the sound quality. I'm going to open this up so you can see inside here. Again, we've got this clamp mechanism instead of a snap-on spindle, and putting the CD in there just feels like a dream. It feels like you're really treating yourself to a premium experience, and the sound quality was phenomenal. It's a great sounding CD player. I always say that the differences between a bad sounding CD player and a good one are fairly minimal. There's not a lot of, you know, like a bad record player sounds a lot worse than a good record player, but a bad sounding CD player doesn't sound that much different than a good sounding CD player. So these are smaller tolerances. Again, this is all my opinion, of course, but this to me sounded noticeably better than other things that are out there. All right, I wanted to talk about some of the high-level features. So we talked about the AKM AK4493S chip, which is very well regarded, but it also has dual SGM 8262-2 op amps, which are very well regarded as well. This thing drives a lot of power. In balanced mode, we're looking at about 836 milliwatts at 32 ohms in high gain mode when it's powered externally. This thing also rips CDs. So you can rip your CDs to wave lossless format right from this device, which is really cool. It's a very capable little device
probably more so than it appears from the outside. Additionally, we do have Bluetooth 5.3 with aptX connectivity, and that of course includes the aptX codec and SBC.
All right, let me power it on here. So here are my thoughts. The menu is kind of cartoony. I don't think the menu is as professional looking, as slick looking as a device of this caliber deserves. It's functional. It gives you everything you need. But I don't know. That's just a minor nitpick. It doesn't have programmability. And that's, I always think that's a cool feature, programmability. That being said, I don't usually use it. Usually I'm a direct track access kind of a person. But it's an absolute treat to listen to. I listened to the Unbalanced 3.5 millimeter. We got this very nice volume slider over here that works great. I would prefer a knob probably, but the slider is cool. It kind of harkens back to that old Sharp cassette player that I have with the volume slider on the front of it. The thing is about this, yes, it is a portable device, but I wouldn't want to go very far with this. Like if I'm camping, if I'm hiking, I'm not taking this with me because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Not because it's, cheap, but because it's so high quality. It's metal and glass. It just seems too much of a high-end piece of equipment. Plus it's sharp, it's angular, it's quite heavy for what it is. This belongs on a desktop. This belongs maybe carried around the house gently with you if you're an adult. This is definitely not a kid's CD player, first-time CD player. If you need a CD player and you don't have a lot of space, but you don't particularly need a portable, that would be a great use case for this. Because like I said, functionality is fantastic. Sound quality. I thought I would be sad that it didn't have the tubes. Didn't miss it. I thought I would be sad that it didn't have the R2R DAC. I can't say I didn't miss that. I don't know. I still have to explore R2R DACs. But the AKM chip in here just sounded so delightful and musical. And the quality was phenomenal. I loved it. I would love to play you guys a sound sample, but it's YouTube. It's going to compress it. So all of that beautiful lossless audio that this has would be lost in translation. So at the end of the day, I think that this is a very good CD player. I wholeheartedly recommend it. It is pricey, but the whole reason why they got rid of the tubes and the R2R DAC, which was an in-house DAC, for this was to facilitate a much lower price because the $500 original is pricey. The $300 version of this one is also pricey, but it's a little bit more attainable. All right, my friends, and that's going to do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. We got a lot of cool stuff coming, and the stuff has stacked up, and I need to get busy cranking out these videos again. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, I would definitely recommend this device. It was very, very cool. Sounds great. It's just a heavy lug of a metal and glass CD player. It just sounds good. Feels so high quality. Feels like the last CD player you'll ever need. I do want to talk about the batteries too. I know a lot of people freak out about rechargeable batteries. Don't forget, just because a battery is rechargeable doesn't mean it's not serviceable and replaceable. A lot of these, and I don't know about this one specific, but a lot of these replaceable batteries, it's as easy as popping the cover off and removing a socketed battery that you can buy online easy. So don't poo-poo a non-alkaline battery setup just because of that. Because if a battery lasts 5 years and all it takes is 10 minutes with a little screwdriver to replace it, and you've saved yourself so much money in batteries. So something to be aware of for sure. I like this thing. I think it was really cool. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, and that's going to do it for today. So happy record hunting. We'll see you next time.